All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast. Now, after failing to come to an agreement with the Brooklyn Nets, All Star guard Kyrie Irving is seeking a trade. Irving is in the last year of his deal, and according to multiple big outlets, he is seeking a 4-year extension in the range of nearly $200 million. Now, in my opinion, there is too much water under the bridge for both Irving and the Nets franchise for them to commit to him long term. And with the NBA's trade deadline next Thursday, this, in my opinion, could mark the end of Kyrie's time in Brooklyn. Now, according to multiple sources and big outlets, you have the Los Angeles Lakers, Phoenix Suns, and Dallas Mavericks among three teams that could become potential trade partners for the Nets. Now, one question that you have to ask: what could the Nets get in return for Kyrie? You're talking about a player that is in the last year of his deal. And if a team is going to make a trade for him, would they want to give him the extension that he is seeking while also giving up assets? That's going to be the big question. And with that said, I feel that this is very bad timing on the part of Kyrie. I guess, in my opinion, it sounds like Kyrie feels that, you know what, I have the Nets over a barrel, when in actuality, that's not really the case because Kyrie's on the other side of 30. I don't see a team giving him the money in the years that he wants based on his past history. And it's all, as good as he can be as far as a basketball player, is just as how bad that he can be as a distraction with a team. He wasn't happy with the Cleveland Cavaliers being Robin to LeBron James's Batman. He got traded to the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics made the conference finals before they got Kyrie, were a train wreck that year. He left, and Boston is once again contending for NBA championships. Kyrie came to the Brooklyn Nets, and it's been a train wreck ever since, in my opinion. Of course, the infamous comment, "We don't need a head coach," when the Nets hired Steve Nash, taking off time. I mean, Kyrie has probably missed almost as much time as he actually has playing. So, with that said, the Nets are not going to commit to him long term, nor should they. And on top of that, you have a situation where Kyrie has balled out recently since the last controversy. And, it looked like the Nets were becoming a cohesive unit. KD is out. Kyrie has picked up the load. And now we're talking about a Brooklyn Nets team that entered play today with a record of 31-20. Things were looked like they were coming together under head coach Jock Vaughn. And then this team is currently fourth in the Eastern Conference. And then this bombshell was dropped today. So this is a very bad look for Kyrie Irving. And then on top of that, what does this mean for Kevin Durant? Remember, this was a package deal when KD and Kyrie came to Brooklyn a couple of years ago. And you thought about it where the Nets could possibly have traded Kyrie last summer, and basically, KD said, you know what? He wanted to play with Kyrie. So if the Nets do go ahead and trade Kyrie, is Kevin Durant going to still be happy with the Brooklyn Nets? These are things that are going to be questions that a lot of people are going to be asking between now and the trade deadline. And then there is, of course, what happens if the Nets either are unable or simply don't want to trade Kyrie prior to the trade deadline. How does this affect the locker room? How does this affect the psyche of the team? And I say that from the standpoint that, guess what? Now those guys, as well as Kyrie, are going to have reporters in their face consistently asking them questions about this potential trade, asking them about the status of Kyrie Irving once again. And at the end of the day, do you or anybody, any team around the NBA want to deal with the headache that could potentially come with this? Now, from teams that could be looking at Kyrie. Obviously, people are going to talk about the Los Angeles Lakers, the nostalgic aspect of him potentially reuniting with LeBron James. To me, there's a big problem there. And the problem is any trade with Kyrie involving the Lakers would mean that the Lakers have to part with Russell Westbrook, who, like Kyrie, is in the last year of his deal. I don't see a scenario where Russell Westbrook would come to the Brooklyn Nets because that would mean he would be once again playing with Kevin Durant. And of course, there is a lot of water under the bridge between KD and Kyrie, pardon me, KD and Russ going back to their days with the Oklahoma City Thunder. For that to happen, the Nets would definitely have to get a third team involved to have some place to ship uh Kyrie Irving. But again, the timing is so bad because the Nets were rolling. But at the end of the day, this is what Kyrie does. He did this in Cleveland to LeBron when the Cavs looked like they had what it took to go back and not only contend with the Warriors, possibly beat the Warriors for an NBA championship. And then, of course, this happened where he wanted to leave. The issues with Boston, the constant issues with the Brooklyn Nets. It's one of those, why would a team want to trade for him? But at the end of the day, somebody is going to take Kyrie, whether it be before the trade deadline or over the summer, somebody's going to take him. Because, in my opinion, and I said this last year, a divorce between the Nets and Kyrie appears to be imminent. But if you're the Brooklyn Nets, would you want to think, quick turnaround or long term rebuild? And I say that because you got to deal with KD. How is KD going to be feeling about things? Because he could become an unhappy camper as well. And this stardom, if you will, that the Brooklyn Nets have been chasing has not worked, just like it didn't work about 10 years ago when they brought in Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce on the end of, or the last legs, if you will, of their respective Hall of Fame careers. Now, with Kyrie and KD, you see that the Nets moved heaven and earth to make them happy, to get them there. Bringing in James Harden, it didn't work. You trade James Harden to Philly for Ben Simmons, it still is not working. And you look at this Nets team, now you've kind of, in my opinion, derailed any chances that this team had to make in the postseason as far as being a legitimate team to come out of the Eastern Conference. I said it before and I will say it again. The Nets should have traded Kyrie Irving last summer when they had the opportunity, but they didn't do it. And at the end of the day, if you're the Nets, you just want to divorce basketball wise from Kyrie, move on with your franchise, allow Kyrie Irving to move on with his basketball career, cut your losses, and just accept the fact that this simply is not working. At the end of the day, and this is my opinion, Kyrie is never going to be a guy basketball wise that is happy. And I think that is why him and Kevin Durant, came to Brooklyn because KD, in my opinion, is never going to be a basketball player that's happy because he's consistently chasing legacy and he's chasing respect that he feels that he deserves. And again, KD is a bad man on the basketball court, but nonetheless, he never got the respect that he deserved for helping the Warriors win those two championships. Wanted to come to Brooklyn with Kyrie. It has not worked out, and it ain't going to work out. It is what it is. Kyrie, who is who he is. And at the end of the day, if the Nets or anybody else thought that things were going to be different from Kyrie Irving, well, guess what? Today, once again, proved that them and everybody else was completely wrong about it. So, folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you have not already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 pounds of sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin. I am signing off saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.